Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of What Not to Do when Scrapbooking. I am Heather and I'm going to be your host for today. I have to tell you, I did one of these videos a long time ago and it was hilarious because literally when I made the layout, it was like everything you could do wrong, I did wrong. So I'm going to make another voiceover because that's exactly how this layout went. Right now, I am cutting down my papers. I have 13 photos, and I'm going to get them all on this layout. I am following a sketch by Scrapbook Generation. The first thing I do want to say what not to do, uh, when you're cutting down your photos to fit them, into the sizes that you want. I didn't show this on the video. I usually pre-cut my photos, and I don't realize it right away anyway. But make sure you don't cut the photos to the wrong sizes. um, I I will also say that basically what not to do while cutting your photos is to do voiceovers, because I think that's why I was paying attention to too many different things and therefore I cut my photos. Actually, it was just one photo. So luckily there's only one photo that was cut down, and I did print it again with my photo printer. However, because the other ones were printed with Shutterfly, it is a little bit different of a quality. There are a few photos on this layout that I am not going to share because they're pictures of my husband's hiking buddies, and I don't, know if they want to be on YouTube or not. So that is that. You will see that though. I put cardstock as photo mats as we go along. So where you see those photo mats is where the photos will be. The next thing not to do when scrapbooking is don't get your hopes up that even though you cut everything to the exact same size, that they're going to actually line up on the page. Who's with me on that one? I know I'm not the only one, right? Next thing I will say, when cutting your papers, make sure you know what you're cutting. Same thing. I think I think it was at this point I realized, okay, I'm not going to do the voiceovers anymore because I obviously can't do two things at once. So I'm cutting down these photos. These are the photos, or excuse me, these are the papers I'm going to use as photo mats, or at least I thought at this point that I was going to. But there are some photos because I'm using multiple photos. Um, I did add white acrylic paint to the edges of all the photos to help them stand out, but there were a few photos that I wanted to highlight, and those photos will have these colored borders. So the next thing I'm going to say, when you are gluing your papers down, make sure you're gluing the right color of cardstock down. So I am using, this is a close to my heart kit, and it came with some cardstock, like the blue and that kind of reddish color. And basically, one side of the close to my heart cardstock is a darker color, which I love that they do that because it just gives you another option. And gonna work on this here. I'm gonna go ahead and start gluing everything down, and I literally do not even realize until I took pictures of the layout in the very end that blue strip at the top, I glued down the dark side down, and so the light side shows, which is all the other three strips has the dark side showing. So that's a little bit of annoying, and because everything's already glued down by the time I realized it, there was no pulling that back up. I'm trying to think. I'm literally just finished this layout and I wanted to do this voiceover so I can remember all of the things that I did. Another tip for you is, this is where I realized that my photos were wrong, and so I'm gonna turn the camera off and go find another photo. But another tip for you is to When you're planning on using a border sticker in place of another strip of paper, don't go ahead and glue that strip of paper down, completely forgetting about the border sticker. So I don't know if you saw me earlier, but I pulled over the border stickers, or the stickers, I guess it's just a sticker sheet, and I thought, hey, that one with the trees would go right where I put this yellow one, this yellow strip of pattern paper. I was going to put the strip with the trees on it. Yeah, I completely forgot about that and cut the yellow paper down. And so I cut a bunch of that yellow paper down, and when I didn't even really need to. So kind of wasted it, although, I mean, you can still see a peek of it here, but I probably would have not have added that yellow strip if I would have remembered that I was going to put the border sticker there. So there is where I glued down that one paper, thinking that I was going to, or that's where sorry, let me start that sentence over again. That's where I just glued that one strip down when the dark side is glued to the paper and the light side is up. And man, it was one thing after another with this layout. The other thing I am going to suggest you don't do is glue your photos to these chipboard frames when you don't know whether or not they will fit on the page. That one at the top, I was kind of excited because I thought, hey, it's kind of a different shape and it really fits that photo. And I don't show me gluing it down in the video, but I do think that I show on the video where I try to put it in the spot that I was planning on it using it. And yeah, it doesn't fit in the least. So I was happy to get these frames. Again, another thing that's a little bit different for me to use. Not the frames themselves, but the kind of the shape of the frames. So now I'm going to go ahead and work on this side, the right-hand side of the page. When you're gluing down, another thing not to do, when you have papers cut to make the right-hand side of the layout look just like the left-hand side of the layout, don't forget to add those papers that you cut. You'll see that here in just a second. Here's where I realized that I didn't use that sticker strip, and I was a little disappointed. Looking at it now, I actually wish that I would have put it back up. I am going to still use that, by the way. Another thing not to do, before you know where you're gluing everything down at, don't cut your papers too much, because this paper, I basically had to glue them together, which it's fine. I'm not worried about it. It's totally noticeable. I don't care. But because I cut those photo mats, it's not long enough. You can see there. Another thing not to do, where you inked your edges in the middle to, so it looks like the edge of the paper, don't glue that inked edge down into the middle of the paper, which I did with those dark blue strips, which you probably can't really see in the video, but I did it twice with that same strip. Anyways, here is the part where I'm going to completely forget to add in that orange strip. So I'm going to glue down these two 4x4 photos that go, actually I'm going to glue down one 4x4 and one photo mat for the other 4x4. Get those completely glued down and then realize, hey, I didn't add in that other orange little strip. Another little tip here, which I don't know if you noticed, but I would suggest not cutting paper that's too big to fit in your trimmer with that same trimmer. Yeah, I did it anyways. It worked out okay, but a little part of it tore. But I think at this point I was like, okay, I gotta be done with this layout. So I'm gonna tuck that paper, because it sat on top of the photos because I didn't line them up right. I'm going to tuck them under that photo, then realize I didn't cut or add that second orange strip on there and have to pull it right back on up. So if you glue things down without thinking about what you're doing, feel free to have your spatula nearby so that you can pull it up just as easy. Luckily, they came up fairly easy. Now I'm going to glue everything back down again, and I am happy with how this layout turned out, but oh man. Now I'm going to glue down. I'm just going to finish this side. I did think about not recording this gluing down point at this point. It was just such a frustrating layout. I don't even know what I was doing in the layout, but I decided I just was recording. There is some starts and stops just because there was some other things going on, but that's probably why this layout didn't go right too as well, right? But oh well. At least there I noticed that I was about ready to ink the light-hand side of that strip. So 3 of the strips have the dark side down, and I mean, look at there. Oh, here's where I realized that that frame that I put that picture in is too big and will not fit. Because I put that frame, I've already glued the picture to it, I trimmed the photo down to kind of curve with that frame, so it won't fit with any other frames. I could have probably reprinted that picture as well. However, it works out. You will see what I actually come up with a solution. Here's another thing not to do when you're scrapbooking. When you're gluing down your board or sticker strip that you almost forgot to use and put other paper there in the place of it, make sure you get it even. Not sure if you can tell, but it's very crooked where it is, at least on the left-hand page. Right-hand page looks great. Left-hand page, not so much. Am I going to fix it? Nope. I'm not even going to worry about it. So here is my title. This is a giant sticker that is going to be in that, that's in the Workshop Your Way or whatever they call it for this collection. I went ahead and fussy cut that title. So, oh, and then I will tell you real quick, one thing you might not want to do while scrapbooking is throw away these extra chipboard pieces, because honestly, this chipboard, it was the inside between that outside gray frame that is on one of those photos and that other piece. And so it's really not a piece that normally people would use, but in this case, it kind of saved me because it was perfect size. It will fit up above where I plan to put this photo, and the colors worked out pretty well. So don't throw away things too quickly. Another super big what not to do when scrapbooking, don't add your foam adhesive to the back of your stickers before removing the sticker backing sheet. Yeah, so that's a sticker that I cut that title from, which I mentioned a moment ago. And it basically, I put this part in of the video just to show you that I completely forgot to take the backing off. Now, some letter stickers like these ones, it might not have been the end of the world because they seem to really be on that backing sheet. But there was no way I wanted to go back and redo anything on this layout months from now, right? Finding them loose or anything like that. So my next suggestion is, once you figure out that you're gluing your foam adhesive to the sticker backing and not the sticker itself, and you finally figure it out and get it fixed, don't do the same thing right on over again 2 minutes later. I got all the way, I think, to the D or the E and started doing the exact same thing again. So yeah, that was some little bit of work. Now I think we might actually be okay for the rest of this layout. So what I would say is I'm not going to say there won't be anything else because I'm not 100% sure. But I think at this point, I will say what not to do is don't panic and enjoy the process. It's just a layout. Is this my favorite layout? No. Do I hate it? No, I actually kind of like it. I think here is one of those times where I realized that that border sticker is completely crooked, but I'm okay with it. I'm going to, at this point, just add things around. I wanted a cluster over here on the left-hand top side because I have the cluster up there by that framed photo. I'm going to add my journaling. I just remembered it. I needed to add journaling, but I'm just going to add a few strips saying where they were. And I'm going to call this layout good. I did add the date on that little gray arrow piece. And I don't think I show me gluing everything down because literally at this point I was like, I got to do this voiceover before I forget all the stinking things I did wrong. So I really hope you like this version of what not to do with scrapbooking. Yeah, hopefully it was helpful to you to maybe not do some of the things that I was doing. I think it's quite possible I might put this collection away for a while and work on something else. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Let me know below, and I shall talk to you guys next time. Have a great day, everyone. And if you want to, leave me a funny story with something that's happened to you while scrapbooking. That'd be great to hear. All right, bye, everyone.